Hello friends, this is Dr. Ritika Gauba from Zenith PhD Training and Consultancy. Have you ever used part or parts of your previously published work and used it to write something new, something current, something recent? If you have, then you have knowingly or unknowingly indulged in text recycling or self-plagiarism. Who would have ever thought that using your own hard work can also lead to plagiarism? So we've spoken at length about plagiarism in our previous 3 videos. What is plagiarism? What are the UGC norms and penalties related to plagiarism in thesis, related to research papers? Which parts of your thesis are not checked for plagiarism? What is the punishment of repeat plagiarism? And what happens if plagiarism is detected after publication? If in case you missed watching our 3 videos and you want a complete and in-depth knowledge about plagiarism, then we are sharing for your convenience the links of these videos in the description box below. Now let's come back to our today's video where we will be talking to you about self-plagiarism. So we've divided this video into 3 sections. In the first section, we will be telling you about the meaning of self-plagiarism and the definition of it. In the second section, we will be telling you about what constitutes a self-plagiarism. And in the third one, we will be telling you about what are the repercussions of self-plagiarism. So let us move to our first section. What does the word self-plagiarism mean? So let us start with the word plagiarism itself. The word plagiarism means stealing. It means stealing from some other author. Like in stealing, something is considered as stealing when we do not, we take a possession or we take possessions of someone else and we do not inform the owner of that possession that we are taking his thing, or we do not take his permission. So anything taken from somebody without their permission constitutes as stealing. Similarly, in plagiarism, we steal somebody else's literary creation. So whether it is an article or a chapter or a book or even a post, if we are using somebody else's literary creation as if to portray this as our own, and we do not neither credit the original author nor ask their permission for using their work, then we are indulging ourselves in plagiarism. Now in self-plagiarism, the definition can be divided into 3 parts. Yes, we are using our own previously published work. We can take part of that published work or parts of that published work, and then we use those parts to write something new. And most importantly, we are not citing our previously published work. The reason being that we want to pass off this new work, this current work, as something which is original, something which is unpublished. To support this definition, I'll quote the work of Miguel Roig, his 2015 work, which is titled as Avoiding Plagiarism, Self-Plagiarism and Other Questionable Writing Practices, A Guide to Ethical Writing. In his work, with the link of this work, this guide on ethical writing practices has been shared with you in the description box below. So in his work, he says, I'll explain it in very simple language. The original definition is, you can read it below. He says that basically when you are using your old work and you are showing it to the readers as if this old work is something which is new. So whatever new you are writing, you are trying to tell, or you are trying to misguide or mislead your reader into believing that this new work is the work of original work, and you're trying to make them believe that this is a work of novelty, which actually is not. Okay, so now I think now you've understood the definition of self-plagiarism. So let us move into our next section to explain what constitutes as self-plagiarism. So the first thing is when you are, of course, republishing your entire previous work, then it is self-plagiarism. If you're using part or parts of your previously published work and not citing your previous work, again self-plagiarism. if you are dividing, sometimes you've written a large study and now you're taking smaller parts of that large study and getting them published, so those you're getting those small parts published as new research papers or articles, then that is also plagiarism. If you are using data of your previously published work and using this data to come up with a new study, then that is also self-plagiarism. And the last one is if you are paraphrasing your entire work in and republishing it as something new without proper citations from your previous work, then again it is self-plagiarism. Okay, now the third section, what are the repercussions of self-plagiarism? Will you go to jail for self-plagiarism? As of now, no. However, if self-plagiarism is detected, then you will surely be frowned upon. You will be considered as unprofessional, unethical, and dishonest. Yes, but you can be caught or you can be sued for copyright infringements. How? So essentially, when you send your paper for publication, and the journal makes you sign a copyright agreement. So before your paper is getting published, they make you write a copyright agreement in which they take the copyright of that paper from you. So now if the copyright of the paper you've passed on to the journal, and now if you're using that published work to write another paper, then actually you are not keeping up to your promise of that copyright agreement. Similarly, when you are sending this plagiarized paper to a new journal, again you sign a copyright agreement in which you pledge that this paper is original, new, unpublished. Again, it will all be a lie. So you can be sued by either of the two journals for copyright infringement. Now, if you are thinking of getting something which is self-plagiarized, getting published in India, you should know, my dear friends, that even in India, UGC has taken very sternly about this self-plagiarism, and they've come up with a public notice on self-plagiarism on 20th of April 2020, where they have told all the vice chancellors and all the head of the institutions to take self-plagiarism, or anybody who's indulging in self-plagiarism, to take it very seriously. It is completely unethical, and such people should be penalized in whatever way the institute seems correct. They have also said, and you should note this very clearly, that any kind of self-citation which happens, it is not going to add any value to the overall citation index of the individual or H index of the individual. Also, you should know, friends, that Google algorithms and good plagiarism softwares like Turnitin services, they tend to pick up duplicate publications. And if there are a lot of duplicate publications which are happening from an author's end, then actually they reduce the search ranking of that author. So to conclude, and as an advice as your PhD consultant, I would say that treat your published paper in the same way that you would treat any other author's paper. So cite it, do proper referencing, don't take up large parts of that paper, just treat it as the way you would treat any other author's paper. Okay, so that's it for me today. If you like the work which we are doing to educate you, to empower you with knowledge, then please do like and subscribe our channel. And if you have any more questions, if you want knowledge on any other thing, please do mention that topic in the comment section. We will take it up in our future videos. This is Dr. Ritika Gauba from Zenith PhD Training and Consultancy, a consultancy which is here to empower you with PhD knowledge.